Pink. What up, Tube? What shall we do? So it is Memorial Day weekend currently in Florida. Howling Wolf is going to be singing the blues for us here. Yes, Memorial Day weekend. I'm not really feeling very memorially, if that makes sense. I'm not really feeling the whole celebratory holiday-ish. Um, just to kind of put things into a little bit of perspective here. I did have an opportunity to get out of the house this past weekend, or no, this weekend, yesterday. Um, Opportunity to meet up with someone for lunch. Um, Two things stopped that. One, the place that we were going to go to, um, the agreement was that we were going to go out to lunch to eat at this place. It served this like fusion Indian food over pizza, but apparently the pizza chef is on vacation right now, so they had like empanadas or something. I just wasn't really in the mood for an empanada, I guess. But I guess even bigger on that was, I just really didn't have the cash to do so. Um, it'll be this excuse that I also use today. I have a friend who wanted for me to attend the jazz festival with them. Um, or they were just looking for someone to attend, I guess. And, though I know that these people likely have enough where, they can cover themselves, they can maybe help me out, maybe get a meal or a drink or something. Just, you don't want to seem like a burden to people, if that makes sense, you know? And I feel like, in a way, some of this not wanting to seem burdensome is a depressive thing. Because the friends are probably not going to be, super adamant about me needing to A or B. People are going to love you still. Something I found there. Are they going to love you or hate you? And, it's not really going to matter. You will be loved or you will be judged, you know. But with that being said, yeah, these people are going to come in and they're going to love you. And, you know, even in your faults, even in your, moments of weakness, your moments of heartbreak or whatever, they're still going to be there. So, I'm thinking to myself, well, I probably could have just said, hey, I'll join you. But I wasn't really, it just didn't really click in. Hey, join these people. Um, by the way, there's no real set plan of what's happening right now. If you're sitting here like, well, what is he doing? He doesn't even know. Um, I kind of want to go back to the colors over here, but I don't. I want to keep the bottle thing going. Try to make little drops on tops of drops on tops of drops. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. Like, well, what can I do here? What can I put there? Can something go into a slot? And like I say, I don't really know what's happening in some of these areas. Just putting paint in places. Putting paint in places, right? Um, I woke up with this idea to do some angry art, which will probably happen later. Angry art's the nice little term that you give to, things that have like a kind of a political edge to them, or may have like a bit of um yeah, just a bit of something, a bit of edge, a bit of umph. um I've only really done a couple of angry pieces, and outside of Muse and a few others, no one's really seen the anger. you know the quote unquote angry art has been, kind of nicely kept away into its own little back corners, and back spectacles, and we haven't really shown it off to anyone, which is weird of me to say because I try to show off everything, right? Even though, as of late, I really haven't felt like showing off much. Um, there's been some pieces that I've put out here, and if you've been, watching the channel, waiting for me to pop them out to the public, you've been waiting for a while because it's like, oh, he hasn't put that out. He should look into that. Okay. But yeah, I just, I haven't necessarily done it. As we said, a big reason is just haven't necessarily thought it was, a good timing. And, we get kind of confused in our art a little bit where we don't want to share things out of, retaliation fear, I guess is a good way of putting it. I mean, who wants to have, somebody come in and say that your art is, bad in some way? And, having the person say that it's a bit political can seem like a bit of a negative connotation there. Especially when, a lot of art is flowers and trees and things that make us happy. You know, the idea is that we're making art to be happy, and especially in the mental health aspect, this being Mental Health Month, you know, you're told, hey, go make art, it'll make you happy. Art makes people happy. Looking at art makes you happy. Making art makes you happy. These are things that you're told usually. Um, so if there's a little bit of, a little twinge of sadness or a little twinge of anger or something, we don't want that. You want happy times, right? Happy, happy, joy, joy. There's a whole song about it, I know, yeah. Shockingly enough, it is called the Happy, Happy, Joy, Joy song. Maybe I'll sing it when I turn off the lights or when I'm spinning or something, but the idea is that, we're supposed to be happy. In these times when we're not, it's like something needs to give in order to bring that happiness back. What can we do in order to get that happiness to return? Um, I think I've used all the colors I can use right now. So I think we've put enough onto this canvas. Right. Okay. So now what? I kind of want to use that green thing to swipe with, to be honest. Or just swipe somehow. Yeah. I wonder how it would look if I swiped with the super green here. I have enough of it. This is like a sparkly green type of thing, like green with glitter, I think. And this is definitely going to be one of those don't try this at home type of experiments. Yeah, this is definitely going to be a don't try this at home experiment. Ooh, don't fall off. Don't fall off. All right. Get a look at that palette knife there. Can you see it? Can you see it? Yeah, I just put a couple things on it. Nothing too crazy. So let's see what we can do here. Let's do a. Trying to think, I'll call this the Sunday swirl. Like a cosmos swirl. Sunday swirl. Spread you out, Sunday swirl. That's a good little swirl there. I like that. A nice little pattern to it. Oh, I'm gonna put some of you around the outside so that I can just spin into you. If you're new to my channel, this is the part where I place some paint along the outside edge. Or if you're new to acrylic pouring, I should say. Yeah, right. Place some paint along the outside edge. I am pretty confident that I'm never going to see this white paint in my finished painting, but I need something to grab a hold of the other color. Here. I need something to grab hold of all this. Oops. As it comes out towards the sides here. Right? Because as I push it out towards the sides, yeah, and I got a little bit of white on this these corners up here, but yeah, that's nice actually. I got rid of like 98. 99, most of my white, quote unquote. So this will be colorful. There they are. I see you. Yep. I know, girl, you're making noise right now because you're like, hey, human, are you going to feed me? To which I'm like, yeah, I'm going to feed you. I just plan on waiting until the sun comes up to feed you wet food. And I kind of want to, wait until the sun comes up to open the door so I can go outside. I know you're swinging your tail over there. Oh, you're drinking the water I spilled from the plant earlier. Okay. It's amazing cats don't really care about humans, much as we like to think they do. Nice little photo shot of this. This is a good piece, at least. Curious to see how it's going to look under the black lights. I wonder if that'll work. Trying to find a spot to keep this black light in so I can, literally walk over a few feet and grab the, if it's still over here. Uh-oh. There it is. Of course, I have the handy dandy flashlight also. You can see, but I want to hit the light here. If I can find the light switch. There we go. Ooh, that's pretty. That's really pretty. I'm a fan. So as I said earlier, May is Mental Health Month. I think my mental health is pretty much shot right now, but it happens to the best of us. I am doing therapies and doing all the things that they recommend. Your journal time, your prayer time, your exercise time, your creative time, which is this. Recharging the battery at home, though I do need to work on getting out into more social situations. Which would be good, once I have some finances flowing through. Buy my art, by the way. But yeah, once I have some finances flowing through, it'll be good to try to get back outside. This month has just been tough. I had an eye appointment this past week, which I don't normally see the eye doctor, but I had something kind of stuck in there and at least need to get it looked at. I had to renew my license, which I should have done last month, but that becomes an ADHD tax. I'd call it. Having to pay the late fee and all that sort of fun stuff there. I had to pay the state money for the business that I'm not really using, but you got to keep it open anyway, just because it seems. And there's like so all these little things I had to pay out in May, and yeah, I'm having a weekend where it's like, all right, I'm out of cannabis, or at least after sunrise, I'll be out of cannabis, and Eating kitchery for the next few days because it's super cheap to make once you have all the stuff together. Only I need to get the well, I do need to get some more basami rice, but I'll have to wait until next time for that one. So yeah, I mean, I saw the things in my life other than war and famine and you know government taken over by literal Nazis and you know. So yeah, I'll go and say if the cat peeks out the window, it is very hard to find a lot of sources of light right now with all the darkness happening. But I have to remind myself, and I'll remind you all while you're here, darkness will break through light every time. I hear birds outside. Birds sing when they're safe, usually in the when they see the first light of morning. God is with us in the morning. God is with us during all this. God is light. And we'll break through all of this darkness that we have. Real God, not MAGA God. The MAGA version can go with AI and all the other stuff that I don't like. Now, like you have more chance of me enjoying eggs and ice cream than me ever voting MAGA. I'll go ahead and state it now. And me ever supporting any of this. But even with all that said, I have to remember, as dark as they are making things, as dark as it seems, as dark as my checking account looks some days, as dark as my mind wants to be, as dark as night, light will break through darkness every time. I have to remember this, and I have to keep reminding myself of this. And if I have to keep reminding myself of this, then I will remind anyone else who will listen. Light will break through darkness every time. It's cool little swirly pattern here. Till next time, my friends. Deuces.